Good afternoon and welcome to Crafternoons. My name is Miss Claudia and today we're going to be doing some wintertime crafts. Okay, so for our first project, what we're going to do are DIY paper plate snow globes. So what we're going to be needing is styrofoam balls or fake snow, disposable plates, clear acetate sheet, and colored craft papers, and scissors, glues, and blue acrylic paint, and any other things that you want to decorate. So we're going to get started. I'm going to show you the materials that I've gathered. So here we have some paper plates, we have our snow, I found some confetti in different colors, a place to deposit our paint, and I have some acrylic chalk, a brush, a cup of water, and some scissors and some tape. Okay, so we're going to start by getting our paper plates. So this is more of a bowl, but we can still use this. I'm going to be using this blue paint to paint the inside of it. And I'm going to dilute the acrylic paint in a little bit of water so that it spreads easier. And it's going to look a little crazy, but we're going to trust the process. We're gonna just do a first layer of paint. Get all around the bottom. And you can spread it out a little further if you want. Okay, so I'm just gonna let it dry, and here, after letting it dry a little bit, I'm gonna apply a second coat. And you can see that it's already looking a little bit more solid, darker. So after we're done doing this, we're gonna let it dry, and if we see any areas that need covering up, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so I see a few areas that could use a little bit more paint, so we're gonna go in again. This is gonna be the background color of our snow globe. And I'm gonna continue to cover as much as I can with this. So the edges are not as important to me because they're not going to be as visible from the outside. And we're going to take this piece of crafting paper, and I'm going to trace the bowl to get the size of it, and then turn it around and trace the bottom of it, because we're going to make sort of like a frame that's going to go on top of our snow globe. And remember, be careful when you're cutting, and sometimes the scissors we pick out are a little bit too big, so it's okay to use a smaller scissors, or if you need help cutting, it's always good to ask somebody for help. Okay, so we're just gonna cut out the inside circle, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And now I'm gonna cut out the outside part, and it's just gonna look like a big old. There we go. Now that we have that out of the way, I'm going to show you the acetate paper, or the stencil sheets that I found. I found them on Amazon for about $8. And I'm just going to trace lightly with this marker, and you can't see it on camera, but I can tell where the marks are, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the circle that's going to go on top of our bowl or our plate, and it's going to keep all of our snow from falling out. Here we have our circle, and this is the frame that's going to go over it. Okay, so now we're going to start painting and decorating the inside of our globe. And I have these chalk paint markers, or liquid chalk markers. And I'm going to use this shade, which is like an off-white, to make a little snowy hill. And that's where we're going to start. You can use acrylic paint at home, or you can cut out pieces from construction paper and glue them in here. Or maybe you want to make a completely new design altogether. That's fine too. I'm gonna make some clouds. And I want to use this color to make a little penguin. We're gonna start with the head, fill that in, and let it dry. And a little shape for the body. And it's a little tricky with these markers, so we just let it dry. And once that's done, we can continue with that. But now I'm gonna make some trees. Okay. Alright, so some time has passed. This is what it's looking like so far. I'm gonna go ahead and use the white marker again. And we're gonna outline the face, a little bit of the stomach. And in doing the stomach, we're gonna see the outline of the arms. Now we're going to do the feet. I'm going to use this yellow. Let's see, give them a little beak. 2 dots for the eyes. And we should probably wait for him to dry. Okay, so he's dry. Now we're going to start adding our confetti. And this part is optional. You don't need this. But I love everything that glitters. I'm just going to add this in there. And our snow. Here's some fake snow. So this is a little bit more clingy than the confetti, so I'm just gonna pour it in there with something else. And that's gonna be the inside of it. Be very careful with the confetti and the snow because it can get everywhere and stick around forever. Okay, so I'm gonna tape on the stencil sheets. And I'm just gonna take little strips of tape and tape it all around. So there you go. That's pretty cool. So all we have left to do is to put on the frame. So I'm just going to turn the frame around, take little pieces of tape, tape it over, bend it over itself, and just put little strips of tape all around. Okay. Now we just press it over it. And we shake it. We have our own little snow globe. Wasn't that cool? So we're gonna move on to our second project, and we are gonna be making gingerbread ornaments. So for this project, we're gonna be needing 2 cups of plain flour, 1 cup of plain salt, up to 1 cup of warm water, cookie cutters of your choice, and optional, you can have decorative bits like buttons or beads or other pieces that you want to add. And we're gonna get started. So I have my cup of warm water, my salt, and my flour, and cookie cutters and ginger, and here are the bits and pieces. We're gonna take our salt. I'm gonna mix the dry ingredients first. And maybe at home you guys want to use a bigger bowl than this, but this is what I had available. And we're gonna add in ginger for 2 reasons. You can either use ginger or you can use powder cinnamon, and it's to add color but also to add scent to our gingerbread ornament. So I wanted to go with ginger because it actually smells like ginger and they smell really good. So I'm just gonna keep on adding ginger until I'm happy with the color. And slowly we're gonna add in water. Try to get as much as we can. So the idea is to slowly add in water, and we should have like a little ball of dough by the end of this. And a couple of tips that I learned, because I am not a person who bakes. If your dough is a little bit on the sticky side, then you can just keep on adding flour until it doesn't absorb any more flour. And also salt. Salt is something that helps absorb moisture. So that can also help if your dough is just a little bit more on the sticky side. It's supposed to be smooth. And we're just gonna keep on mixing. And this might take a while. And it might get a little messy, as you can see. Also, this requires a lot of stirring and mixing, so your arms might get a little tired. So it's okay to take breaks every now and then. You can see it's starting to get a little bit thicker in consistency. It's still a little sticky, so I'm gonna make this a little smoother off camera. We'll be right back. There we go. So I put flour on the table where we're gonna put our dough. And we're gonna try to spread it out, make it smooth and flat. I do not have a rolling pin here with me, so I am gonna be a little crafty and we're gonna improvise. We're gonna be using an empty Coke bottle to try to roll this out. And as you can see, it works too. It works a little bit to an extent. But we want this to be as smooth and flat as possible. Not super thin, but flat. So I flipped it around. There are still some places that feel a little sticky, so I'm putting whatever's left of flour and salt in there. And I decided to switch over to this empty bottle of salt. Now we can get our cookie cutters. And so I do have gingerbread people. We're gonna make a couple of those, but I have a lot of different cookie cutters here, so we're gonna make different ones too. And I have that paper towel up there where I'm gonna be placing our little ornaments to dry. And remember that we need something to poke holes where we're gonna string them along. So I am going to be using a pencil to poke a little hole, as you can see. And I'm going to make use of the dough that we have here on the table and try to make as many ornaments as I can. Alright, so now we can start taking away the dough that's in between that we don't need. I'm trying to be as careful as I can. I'm gonna start placing them on this paper towel I have over here. As you can see, there is a lot of sun, so I am going to be leaving them to dry near these windows that have a lot of light and sun coming through. Okay, and here we have it. So we have our cookie shapes cut out. It really does smell like ginger. And now we get to decorate them. So I have these buttons and a few beads, so that's what I'm going to be using today. Just going to press those in there. And I'm trying to press them in enough so that it stays in there when it's dry. Because we don't want them falling out. And remember, you can decorate these any way you want. If you want to paint these afterwards with acrylic paint or something, or if you wanted to add in food coloring to the dough before we cut these out, that's something else that you can do if you want your gingerbread ornaments to be different colors. And I don't have string here, but after all these are dry, what you're going to do is you're going to take some string and put them through the holes that we made at the top, and they'll be ready to hang. So we're just going to decorate this last piece. This last ornament is an angel. We're just going to finish decorating this one. And we just leave them out to dry. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care, stay safe, and until next time, thank you.